In pop culture, the orc is reduced to a set of simple functions: smash, kill, eat, scream. We are conditioned to see them as biological weapons, devoid of a soul. But let's ask an uncomfortable question, a question that movies and games desperately try to ignore. What happens to an orc when the battle ends? When the adrenaline levels drop? Is their brain capable of producing oxytocin, dopamine, the hormones of attachment? If we dissect the anatomy of these creatures across different universes, we find a terrifying contrast. In some worlds, they are walking fungal colonies, incapable of understanding the concept of self. In others, their nervous systems are so dangerously close to human that they are capable of physical pleasure and emotional bonding on a scale we can barely imagine. Today we will travel from the total asexuality of Warhammer to the secret harems of Middle-earth and the tragic physiology of Warcraft. We will find out how monsters reproduce, and can a creature bred for war truly love? Let's start at absolute zero, a point where biology excludes love as an unnecessary glitch. The universe of Warhammer 40,000. Here, orcs are the pinnacle of genetic engineering by the Old Ones. To create the perfect soldier, the creators stripped the orc genome of everything non-essential. They have no gender. They have no reproductive organs. They do not understand the concept of father or mother. Orcs in 40K are a symbiosis of animal and fungus. And from a psychological perspective, this is horrifying. Their brains lack the center responsible for romantic attachment. The only hormonal spike resembling ecstasy occurs from the roar of bolters and the smell of spilled blood. This isn't a metaphor. This is their neurochemistry. Their reproduction is a paradox. An orc must die for his body to release spores. From this mold, in the damp corners of starships, snotlings, squigs, and new boys will grow. They are born from filth without parents, with the knowledge of how to build a gun already uploaded into their genetic memory. There is no love here. There is only a collective psionic field that replaces family. They don't love each other. They love being part of a single, insane wave of destruction. Tolkien. Peter Jackson's movies showed us Uruk-hai being dug up from the mud pits of Isengard. This created the myth that Middle-earth's orcs are also asexual. But the book canon is much darker. In letter number 153, Tolkien writes explicitly, "Orcs are living creatures. They reproduce after the manner of the children of Iluvatar." That means sexually. If they reproduce like humans, then orc women must exist. But why do we never see them? Why did the Fellowship of the Ring never encounter a female orc? The answer lies in the structure of their society. Tolkien's orcs are a degraded form of life. Their attitude towards women is utilitarian and cruel. Females are kept deep within the bowels of the mountains, in the most heavily guarded caves of Mordor. They are reduced to a resource, incubators for replenishing the army. There is no room for romance in this world. There is only coercion and fear. If a bond exists in the dark tunnels of Moria, it is built on animalistic possession. Middle-earth paints a picture where the capacity for reproduction remains, but the capacity for love was burned out by the shadow millennia ago. Let's move to Tamriel. Here, Orcimer are mer. They are elves. Their nervous system is identical to an elf's. They feel emotions just as sharply. but their culture has forced these emotions into the iron cage of the Code of Malacath. In Skyrim, we see a structure resembling a lion's pride. Only one male, the chieftain, has the right to wives and children. This is pure eugenics. Orcs believe that only the seed of the strongest is worthy of continuing the bloodline. Does this mean other men are monks? The lore hints that strongholds are boiling with passion, secret affairs, betrayal, love forbidden by law. It all exists, but it is punishable by exile or death. And what about the women? Here, a woman is not an incubator like in Tolkien's world. She is the steel spine of the clan. Forge wife and hunt wife are titles of high honor. Minus orc love in the Elder Scrolls is a deal and a partnership. The chieftain provides protection. The wives provide heirs and manage the fortress. There is little sentimentality, but a great deal of grim respect. And for an orc, respect is often stronger than passion. And now we come to the universe that flipped the script, Warcraft. Here, orcs are aliens from Draenor, and their physiology holds a surprise. The existence of Garona and other hybrids proves the genetic compatibility of orcs with humans and Draenei. This implies that their reproductive systems and hormonal baselines are practically identical to ours. Azeroth's orcs are anatomically built for intimacy. For them, sex is not just a reproductive function, it is an act of physical and emotional unity that brings pleasure to both partners. But the main difference lies in their attitude toward offspring. Unlike goblins or kobolds, orcs do not rely on numbers. Orc families rarely have more than 1 or 2 children. Why? Because every child is precious to them. Raising an orc requires colossal resources and time. A mother and father pour everything into their child. The concept of a life mate among orcs is almost sacred. It is a bond between 2 equal warriors. Remember Duratan and Draka. Their relationship was built not on submission, but on absolute trust. Remember Mankrik, who spends years searching for his wife's remains in the Barrens, destroying everything in his path. The pain he feels is not the pain of an owner losing property. It is the pain of a man who has lost half of his soul. The Warcraft orc is a deeply feeling creature. Their rage in battle is legendary, but their tenderness toward their own is absolute. A massive warrior capable of ripping an enemy apart with bare hands transforms at home into a caring father, afraid to hug his child too tight. This is not weakness. This is a biological need for the pack and for warmth. But there are worlds where biology doesn't take away feelings. It cranks them up to a lethal maximum. The universe of Dungeons and Dragons and Baldur's Gate 3. Here, the key figure is the half-orc, a creature torn between 2 natures. The player's handbook gives us a canonical detail that many overlook. Orcs feel emotions more intensely than humans. This isn't poetry. This is the curse of their blood. The rage of the god Grumsh flows in their veins. He demands war, but the human part of their soul demands warmth. When these 2 forces collide, an explosion occurs. A D&D orc doesn't know how to be a little sad or slightly in love. If they rejoice, their laughter shakes the tavern walls. If they fall into depression, they wither away. But if they love, it is a forest fire that cannot be extinguished. Half-orcs have a racial trait, relentless endurance. When their health drops to 0, they don't die. They get back up with 1 hit point. Sheer rage keeps them alive. But it works the same way in relationships. An orc will hold on to a loved one long after a human would have given up. They will stand to the death to protect their family, ignoring pain, ignoring logic. Their love is frightening because it is absolute. Now let's fast forward to the future, to the neon hell of cyberpunk. Shadowrun. Here, orcs wear business suits, drink soy coffee, and work for corporations. It seems they have become civilized, but this is where the deepest social and biological tragedy lies. In 2021, goblinization occurred. Humans began to mutate. Shadowrun orcs are former humans. They remember what it's like to be us. But genetics played a cruel joke on them. An orc's metabolism burns through their life at a breakneck speed. They reach puberty at 12. At 16, they are fully mature men and women. And at 35 or 40, they die of old age. Imagine the horror. You fall in love. You make plans. But you know your timer is ticking 3 times faster than your human wife's. You know you won't see your grandchildren go to school. It is this fear of death that shapes their love. Shadowrun orcs are obsessed with family. They create huge, loud clans, holding on to each other with a death grip. Their love is soaked in fatalism. Live fast, love hard, die young. If a Shadowrun orc says, "I love you," they say it like it's the last time. It is the most human, the most mature, and the most painful form of love. A love that knows its expiration date. We started with the idea that orcs are fungi and beasts. But after traveling through all these universes, we see a strange pattern. The orc paradox is that they are always more honest than other races. If the universe, like Warhammer, stripped him of love, he is honest in his rage. If the universe, like Warcraft, gave him a heart, he is honest in his devotion. Can orcs love? Yes. And often they do it more sincerely than those who call them monsters. So, which orc universe would you choose for a date? Let us know in the comments. If this video hit you right in the feels, smash that like button harder than a black orc smashes a dwarf. Subscribe to the channel for more deep lore. And remember, if your date screams at the waiter, he's a keeper. Or a mushroom. No judgment. Zug zug.